Hey, how is it going, everyone? My name is TomTheMystik, and welcome to my analysis of Destiny, Bungie's new up-and-coming release that is going to be absolutely huge. The following gameplay you're going to see is from the alpha test at E3, and I'm going to go over it, giving you my own thoughts and opinions, and some ideas of my own that I think you might be interested in. So there's a lot to cover, so I think I'll be going over mainly guns, classes, characters, and the HUD. I pre-ordered the game on July 17th. I'll have full access to the beta test, so I'll be able to upload gameplay of that. But without further ado, there's a lot to cover, so let's get into this gameplay. Enjoy! So as soon as you start this game, you get right into the character creation screen. As you can see, as everybody knows, you see the three different classes, Titan, Hunter, and Warlock. And like most shooter games where you choose the three classes, it goes by the same basic rules where there is one high health, pretty high damage guy who runs out into the open and draws the enemy out. You've got the sniper, who's usually fast, deals very high damage, but has very low health. And you have the third guy, which hasn't come up pretty recently. In most shooter games, he might be a spec ops guy, but he's able to deal out massive damage while keeping medium health, and he's used to support the teams. So let's quickly go over these three characters. So, the first character I'm going to go over is the classic big guy, the Titan. He has high health and high damage, obviously, with the big armor, and he's always seen with an LMG gun. I'm not quite sure what he would use for a secondary, but his main objective is to run out into the open shooting and be the shield for the team to flush out enemies while protecting the team. And if you'll notice his power-ups, they're a sort of ground smash, dealing damage to all the units around them in case he gets swarmed, and as a personal shield, so he can take all the damage he likes while getting up to the enemies, rushing them, and beasting them. But they're also slow, and if they got swarmed, there's not much chance that they could escape, so that's a bit of a downside to them. I also think they would be good for defending warlocks, which they would no doubt rush up the enemy with while the warlocks supported them. So let's get into the hunter. This is your classic sniper, the guy who stays at the back with barely no armor while undercover, headshotting all the enemies, picking them off one by one that the Titan has flushed out. He'd obviously be quick and nimble, and he'd have a high damage with a sniper rifle, but he'd have very low health, and I bet if he was rushed from behind with an enemy, wouldn't stand much chance. I'm guessing his second abilities, his secondary, would be a pistol, probably high-powered pistol. And if you'll notice his power-ups, you'll notice that they're both for melee, they're both for close range. One of them is a flaming pistol, a sort of one-shot kill type thing in case an enemy gets too close and you've just got a sniper rifle out. And the other is called Blade Dancer. It's a supercharged knife attack to basically take down any enemies who get too close. So that's pretty much all you need to know on the sniper. Now let's go on to my personal favorite, the Warlock. This is sort of the massive damage assault rifle guy who's probably got medium health, but the best part about him is obviously magic, as you see him using his little energy ball there. He's probably just, most of his stats are pretty medium, but I'm bet in the gameplay, you'll see that his primary weapon is an assault rifle, and his secondary is a shotgun, so obviously he's meant to deal out huge damage. And you'll see his abilities are an energy ball, which he hurls at enemies to maybe take out huge groups of them, and a sort of skill booster that would increase his health and damage and accuracy, no doubt. Now, just to get over an overview of Destiny before I get into the gameplay, I believe it's sort of a mixture of Halo and Borderlands with a few bits of Dead Space in there, and I'll explain each one on the way. So enjoy this E3 gameplay of the Destiny Alpha, guys. So, we've spawned in as a random warlock on a random mission in the game of Destiny. And if you'll notice in the bottom left hand corner, you'll see his gun loadout, an assault rifle, and a shotgun, as I said earlier. Now, here's where I'll get into the HUD. If you'll notice in the top left hand corner, there is a circular basic mini map that shows you sections of red when enemies are attacking you, or maybe it's just firing, I'm not quite sure yet. And we're fighting a couple of fallen Dreg, which, from what I've seen, are the basic foot soldiers of Destiny. I wanted to talk to you about the enemies. There are three, I think, main categories. There's Fallen and the Hive, and there's another one that I can't quite remember. I think there's sort of a machine race. But each one has different species of their own kind. Like Fallen Dreg would have a Fallen Captain as their mini leader, and they'd have different types of Fallen with different attributes. Maybe some of them would be smarter and get behind cover, maybe some are unarmed while some have guns, and so on. But let's skip to a more interesting part of this gameplay. Just before that, though, there's two more aspects I'd just like to quickly point out. First, if you'll notice, the reloading is exactly like Halo. The sort of stiff but quick sort of reloading style you'd get with any assault rifle or DMR. And second is the health bar. At first I saw that and was disappointed. It looks like a plain long rectangle that just goes down when you're hurt, any old health bar. And then I realised in the Halo, there's usually a health bar with something encircling it, the shield. So I'm guessing that maybe when you pick up armour and loot throughout this game, that makes your shield and an extra bar will appear around that. But let's get to this gameplay I was talking about. So, while we're fighting this fallen captain, I'd like to explain a bit more of the HUD and a few more details of the game. Bottom left, to the left of the weapon loadout, you'll see the Warlock's magic attack. This will charge up over time until you can finally use it, and the more XP you gain, the more magical unlocks you can achieve. And this is why I wanted to talk to you about the game being like Borderlands 2. You'll see when you shoot if you shoot a monster anytime in this video, you'll see white numbers coming out of it, just like Borderlands 2, and if you get a headshot on him, a yellow number will come out. Of course, I also think it's Halo, because you can obviously see by the beautiful textures and artwork, this is clearly a Halo game. And let's get on to why I think there's a few Dead Space elements. You'll have to look at the species The Hive. But one more thing first, I'd like to show you again when I killed the fallen captain, what I pick up after I kill him off his dead body. You'll see there's a green plus and a few blue glowing cubes there lying on the ground. The green plus isn't health, as it would look like. It's actually XP. The more you get of it, the higher you'd level up and unlock more spells and so on. And the blue is called Glimmer. It's the currency in Destiny, which also makes me think that if there's a currency, there must be shops, and therefore there'd probably be some sort of home planet, some sort of no PvP area where you can walk around and shop and meet up with friends. So let's get on to the Hive anyway. So, this is the Hive, and if you'll see in your mini-map, they're picking up the Hive, which makes me believe that the mini-map simply picks up enemies and not just their gunfire. It's annoying that the mini-map disappears when you aim down the sights, but there you go. So, they occupy the sort of dead space element of this game. They seem to thrive in abandoned buildings and sort of jump out at you from around corners where you only have a flashlight on, like a lot of horror games. So that's a really cool aspect of Destiny, and never thought, they'd have any horror aspects in it whatsoever, but it surprised me anyway. And lastly, this has made me think that the three different types of monsters, I think it's only three anyway, thrive in different landscapes. Maybe the Fallen sort of occupy snowy areas. The Hive might occupy just abandoned buildings, old wreckages and stuff like that, ruins, and the next one might occupy somewhere else, say the desert or somewhat. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed my analysis of Destiny Alpha gameplay. I tried to keep it roughly around 10 minutes so it wasn't extremely long. I might do analysis of the beta, or I might just do gameplays. But so far, I cannot wait for this game to come out. It is all my channel is going to be about from the day that it arrives at my house. And stay tuned for more Destiny videos whenever I make them. Bye!